Empathic sayings.
An empathic saying is a longer comment of a reflective type given to let someone know we are following them. We might say something like,
"At this moment, you feel terrible."
Or,
"I can see you are suffering."
These expressions can be very potent, but only if used sparingly, and certainly not in a repetitive fashion. A troubled youth approached me one day and said,
"I hate life. It has treated me terribly."
The loud, bitter comment filled the room. Oh, how I wanted to moralize and tell him that his own actions had placed him in the present predicament, but instead I calmly stated, a la Rogers, "Right now, you're hating life." I was trying to truly comprehend and letting him know that I was listening.
"Oh yes,"
he continued,
"life right now is terrible."
but with anger reduced enormously. With every subsequent exchange, the voice tension and loudness subsided. This same youth soon recognized that he was not in the right path without my having to say it. That was an example of an empathic saying used properly. In contrast, I observed a speaker, a therapist by training, who freely used the line, "I can see you are hurting." I was the conference interpreter and was in a position to observe the audience. An older man told his heartbreaking anecdote, and the speaker used his line at what seemed the perfect moment. The participant stopped talking and leaned back. I could see in his eyes and body posture that he had felt empathy from the therapist. The man had been deeply touched and now felt understood. I was impressed. It was electrifying. It seemed to me, however, that with each subsequent use of "I can see you are hurting," the catchy phrase became increasingly artificial. The magic was gone. Fewer people were convinced of its sincerity, and the line soon meant, "Be quiet, I want to move on with my talk." The process had become mechanical and empty, rather than based on true empathy. How does one know if the listening was empathic? Gerald Egan, in his book The Skilled Helper, A Systematic Approach to Effective Helping, has this to say, quote, "If the helper's empathic response is accurate, the client often tends to confirm its accuracy by a nod or some other nonverbal clue, or by a phrase such as, 'That's right,' or 'Exactly.' This is usually followed by a further, usually more specific, elaboration of the problem situation," unquote. And when one is off the mark, sometimes they will tell you, or just as likely, they will be quiet and avoid eye contact.